Hey, welcome everybody. Hey, Paul. Welcome to the Earnable chat.
Ooh, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever everybody is in the world.
We're from all over the world. Hey, Paul, are you joining today on your own, or is your colleague also joining, Maturanath?
I believe it's just going to be me. I can pull in another person if we need, but I should be able to answer most of the questions here.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna wait a few minutes, like let's say 1 or 2, to have everybody come in. Sorry, Dutchie here. And if we're all here, we're gonna start off the AMA. Everybody write down your questions, get ready. I know we've had plenty.
Sorry, you were cutting out for me there for just a second.
Oh yeah, let me know if my my internet or Wi-Fi or sound is laggy. Sometimes it happens. My Wi-Fi I shared with a few people, so it's sometimes kind of shit.
Not a problem. I completely understand. I have the same thing. Sometimes I have to switch over and use my phone or something like that instead.
Yeah. I'm also on my, on my 4G data bundle right now to prevent like any lag or yeah. It's the same. Welcome everybody. I think this is a nice little club. Just a few more seconds and we're gonna start off. Tom is actually at his, how do you call it? The parents from his girlfriend. So he's probably able to attend, but a little bit later. So we might see him come in, hang out with us a little bit too tonight. He will be in the AMA afterwards for sure, but this one was a little bit still unsure. Okay. I think we're ready. Just letting everybody know we are live. All right. I think we are ready. So welcome everybody. We're here together for the AMA with Bankerdoge in preparation for our staking vault that will be opening in just a few hours from now. And we're gonna cover all of your questions. I know there have been asked plenty, but first maybe it's nice if we introduce our guest tonight, Paul, a little bit. Maybe Paul, you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about Bankerdoge and what are you guys doing?
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Tess. My name is Paul Lambert. I'm the Director of Operations for the Altruism Protocol with Bankerdoge and Ultracoin. Bankerdoge creates vaults currently. More generally, we do decentralized financial services, and we're working towards a whole bunch of crazy different things, including eventual lending, as well as a little bit more unique features. And so we've had the opportunity to partner up with Earnable and create a vault, which, as Tess said, is going to be launching in, I believe, an hour and 10 minutes. And we've been going back and forth and been in discussion for a while now, learning about Earnable and kind of figuring out how it works best to work together. So we're super excited to be a part of this and be able to host the vault. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, so we're here to answer any of those that come through as well.
Yeah, we're also really happy to have you here, and we're big fan of Bankerdoge and the products you are building. I think it works really well and it's something new in the crypto space. We all love new stuff and ways to earn even more while you hold. So that And a big plus is that you can also claim Bankerdoge, the token, as rewards when you hold Earnable. So you can enter also the Bankerdoge staking vaults.
Yeah, that's something that we're super excited about, and we have an AMA in our channel immediately after this one, where we're going to be able to talk to our users and the holders of Bankerdoge, and be able to have them ask some questions and kind of learn how they're able to use Earnable to earn Bankerdoge and how they all work together. One of the things that we really enjoy that we've been able to do as we reach out to more and more projects is prove that, I mean, obviously there's competition within cryptocurrency, but there is no reason that we can't all benefit from each other. And so things like this, where we get to lift each other up and help each other's communities, is super exciting and awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. We're all for unify the DeFi, right?
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
So, Paul, can you tell us also a little bit about who you are?
Certainly. So, like I said, my name's Paul Lambert. I joined on with this project when we first started it. All four of the founding members all kind of came together, and we came up with the idea that we wanted to be able to create something unique inside the crypto sphere and include charity in that. And so that's what we did. My background is in a couple of different digital spaces. I've done a little bit of a lot of things. Most relevant to crypto, I've been generally involved as somebody on the sidelines as well as an investor for probably 4 years or so now. I started hearing about it back in 2012, I believe, and kind of kept an eye on it more or less. But I've done website design in the past. I've done a little bit of marketing in the past. I'm currently getting my master's as well in digital marketing and management.
Nice.
And yeah, I do a lot of little things in here, and it's been super exciting to work with everybody and be able to come up with these projects and talk with all these amazing people.
That sounds really cool. I am also like this master of all trades, so our story is a little bit similar.
Yeah, I've found that I really enjoy learning. So I've done blacksmithing in the past. I've done
Wow.
wood carving. I've done website design. I've done knife throwing. All sorts of just a little bit of everything because it's fun to learn.
Nice. And now you do vaulting. So,
Exactly.
yeah, maybe you can tell our community a little bit more of the basics of the vault, and then we can move on to you guys asking the hard questions in here.
Perfect. Yeah. So staking has become fairly popular inside cryptocurrency in general. We most of the staking platforms that you see do it as more of a farm type situation. So they will let you stake your tokens, and then they go and they put that inside a yield generating platform of some sort, usually through either PancakeSwap or Ava or something like that. We do things a little bit differently. The way that we currently have it and the way that the vault is set up for you guys is that the tokens that you put in go towards a rewards pool. So every time that somebody decides to stake tokens or unstake their tokens, there's a small fee that you pay for your particular vault. That's 7%. And when you stake or unstake, the majority of that fee that you're paying goes in and gets distributed to everybody. And that happens immediately. So as soon as somebody joins, it goes into the rewards pool. And then at the same time, that rewards pool gets distributed to everybody. Um, and in addition to that, there are airdrops and things that can happen. There are all sorts of promotional events. There are other ways that rewards can also enter. But the longer that you hold, the longer that you're in that pool, the more that you're getting from everybody entering and exiting and things like that. There's a couple of other things also that make the vault a little bit different than what you might see in other places. There's two unique features specific to you guys' vault. The first one is the ability to lock your tokens. So with locked tokens, you can get a bonus. In fact, I believe as a couple of people in your community were already looking. The vault is currently on the website. It is not able to be used yet. The deposits are not enabled, but you can at least see how it is. And there's this sliding bar that lets you decide how long you want to lock your tokens. When you lock your tokens for longer, that means that you get a bonus for it. So in this case, if you lock your tokens for 90 days, you still pay that 7% entry fee. However, you immediately get a 5.5% bonus. And the easiest way to think about this is that it takes away 5.5% of your entry fee. That's not quite how the math works out, I think, but it's just interesting.
Hey,
So
Paul,
for people, yeah.
a quick interruption, but I feel like your sound is a little bit muted. Are you on your phone or?
I am not. Let me switch over to my phone. I think the network is a bit better. Give me just a second here. Sorry.
Just making sure everybody gets to hear the good parts. A few seconds.
There we go. Can you let me know if that's any better?
Oh yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
Perfect. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was switching over from my laptop to my phone. I should have just started here.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No worries. So we were talking about the bonus when locking, right?
Yeah. So when you lock for the longer you lock, the higher that bonus is. And the way that the vaults work is it's compounding. So if you get a higher initial entry, for instance, you lock longer, that means that you that amount that you get is going to compound over time. So the vault works by saying if you own, say, for instance, 30% of the total tokens in that vault, then you're getting 30% of every reward that comes in. So the more that you have in that first stake, the higher your bonus is, which means that you're getting bigger amounts of tokens, which is going to compound on itself over and over. So that's a really powerful tool. The other thing that we have that is very different than at least all the vaults I can think of off the top of my head is we're able to include reflections in here. So obviously with you guys, you have a very strong redistribution and reflection system. And with our vaults, you're able to still receive those reflections while you're staked. So with a lot of projects right now, unfortunately, if you stake, it's do you want reflections or do you want to stake? And with the vault that you have set up through us, you get the best of both worlds. There's no downside to it really. Is if you're planning on holding Earnable long term, which again, not financial advice, but you probably should be. It is a no-brainer. It's just an easy way to get even more return on that investment that you're making on your supported project.
Yeah, so basically you're earning double, right? You're earning the basic reflections and you're earning the staking reflections.
That's correct. Plus any specific airdrops or anything like that that come in. Most projects have some sort of advantage for the people that are staking on top of all those other advantages that you're already doing. And sometimes Bankerdoge even hops in and puts in some rewards and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of different advantages. Like you said, you're basically just earning double by staking.
So one of the bigger questions our holders were asking, or our earners, which I like to say but cannot really pronounce so well, is if they get to claim the reflections while they are staking.
Sort of. So the reflections that you're getting from Earnable, the prize essentially that you're getting on that, you can choose to withdraw. However, when you withdraw, that means they're no longer compounding. And you would have to manually do it. So if you wanted to, for instance, update your reflections every day and you wanted those physically in your wallet, then you would have to withdraw every day. It would be a little bit annoying, but it definitely is possible. That being said, they do have to be unlocked at that time. What most people do, because it compounds, is they leave those reflections inside the staking vault, because that means that they're earning rewards from the staking vault, not just on their base amount, but also on the reflections that they're getting. So it helps speed it up even more in that process.
Ah, right. So what you're talking about right now is the reflections from the staking, right? Am I correct?
Even just reflections from holding it. So if you had, for instance, 100 tokens, and actually, sorry, I don't want to give the wrong numbers, and I don't remember your reflection percentage off the top of my head. Can you remind me?
15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're holding 100 earnable tokens in your wallet, you'd be getting 15 you would be getting the percentage based off every time somebody buys or sells. It works the same way in the vault. So whatever portion you would have gotten if it were in your wallet goes into the vault. But that means now that you have, for instance, 115 tokens in the vault instead of 100. So the next time somebody enters or exits, you're getting your staking rewards, quote unquote, not only on that 100 that you have, but now on 115, because you're using those reflections that you got as part of the amount that is staked. So it helps compound it and accelerate faster.
That's awesome. Well, that was a good introduction, I think. And I think it might be nice to move on to your questions. This is to the community. I think we move on to the next part. Everybody's muted right now, but you can just unmute and ask your question to Paul or me if you want. So who's up for a question?
Joe is speaking. Sorry.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Just one question. You said it is possible that we can claim, let's say, our rewards from Earnable, but we have to exit the vault and entering again. Does it mean I have to pay the exit and the entry fee then?
Sorry, I probably should have been a little bit more clear. When you withdraw or when you unstake tokens, you choose how many you want to do. So say, for instance, you have the 100 in there, it goes up to 115. All of your tokens are unlocked and you want to withdraw just the 15 tokens, you would just withdraw 15. You would specify, I want just 15, and you would withdraw. When you do withdraw, yes, you do pay the fee on it. But whether you pay that all at one time or in small amounts, the math works out to be the same either way. So you're not necessarily penalized for withdrawing small amounts at a time, other than the amount that you're missing out on from the compounding.
I mean, actually, the reflection is just 1%, and we need to withdraw the complete amount to claim the BNB. And the BNB part is 13%. So this means that we have to pay 5% each time of the complete amount for exiting and entering again. So this doesn't make sense.
The BNB that is counted for the reflections is also put into the vault as BNB rewards. So if you have the screen in front of you, if you're on desktop or able to multitask on mobile or something, we have two separate sections, one for withdrawing Earnable and one for withdrawing BNB. And you can withdraw those at any point in time. So as long as you're meeting the minimum set by Earnable on the amount in here, you're able to withdraw. So you can, if you wanted to withdraw, for instance, just the BNB and leave the Earnable in there, you can certainly do so.
But the BNB are actually the benefit you as Bankerdoge give to us, isn't it? We're not talking about the BNB. We're not talking about the BNB which are accumulated with Earnable.
Right. There's both, I believe. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I think it's easy to confuse both reward systems because they're so similar. But I think Joe is referring to you have to unstake all your earnable tokens in order to earn or to get your earnable reflections, like our basic BNB rewards. And that's actually true. For as much as I know, Tom will be able to confirm this, but yes, you would have to unstake all your earnable in order to claim, as far as I know. I'm not sure, Paul, if you know more about this, because you also have a Tiki vault, right?
Yeah, I would want to double check with Tom on this to make sure. But as far as I'm aware, the normal claiming that you would do of BNB should still be sent to the vault. But I do want to double check with Tom and make sure that is set up that way. So I think that might be better to defer until he's in the chat as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's keep that one. Good question though, Joe.
I have actually another one. You do not have an early exit fee for Earnable. I mean, we need to lock the tokens, for example, for 30 days. But if I want to withdraw it after 15 days, do I need to pay some kind of penalty?
So the way that it's set up right now, I believe in the user interface version you see right now, it starts at 30. There should be an update coming out fairly shortly that will set it to be 0 and then 30 all the way up to 90. So you'll have the option to stake it with no lock on there at all, meaning you can withdraw at any point with no problem, or you can stake it somewhere between 30 and 90 days. If you choose to stake it between 30 and 90 days, right now there is not the ability to withdraw early. If that's something that is a feature that we offer in general, but not one specific to this vault right now. So that would be something that we definitely could update if that's what Earnable decides.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Are there any more questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Big Rich.
My question would be to Paul. So yeah, I definitely want to stake my earnable tokens in the vault. My question is, yeah, how long can you stake those tokens if you didn't want to stake for 30 to 90 days? Because I have a staking in a Bankerdoge vault. I know that goes up to 180 days. I'm just checking to see if that's the same, and also what would be the compounded APY if I decided to stake at least 180 days plus.
Yeah, let me answer both of those separately. So on the first half of that, you're asking basically how long can you stake. The time that you stake and the time that your tokens are locked are completely independent. So for all of our, for every vault except Tiki, which has a slightly different configuration, if you stake your tokens, you can leave them forever. So if you set it and it's at 0 days, or you stake for 90 days, doesn't matter, whatever. Even when your lock time expires, you can just leave your tokens in there. So there are people that sometimes they say, I just kind of want to test this out. I'm not completely sure yet. I want to do some research, whatever it is. And so they may only stake for 0 days or for 30 days or whatever. When those days expire, that's fine. Just leave it in the vault. You're going to continue receiving your regular reflections. You're going to continue receiving the rewards from the vault, and continue receiving any airdrops, anything like that. So even once your time shows 0, whether you started at 0 or not, you don't need to move them. Once they're in there, they are staked until you choose to unstake them. And then I think the second half, I have actually already forgotten. Can you please remind me what the second part of the question is?
The estimated compounded APY if I chose to stake for at least 180 days, which was my plan.
Certainly. So this is another way that Bankerdoge differs a little bit from other staking platforms. We do not guarantee any sort of APY. So on some, you'll see like a 75% APY, and that's guaranteed for however many days they choose. The way that it works with Bankerdoge is it's just you get what is coming in. So oftentimes in the beginning, especially when you have a ton of people coming in and leaving and everything in the first week or two, you have really high APYs. For instance, on Bankerdoge, for the first 3 days, it was something like 30,000 APY. The reason that happens is the system looks at the amount of the number of tokens and the US dollars and everything associated with that that are coming in, and it takes the last 7 days and projects that out to a year. So for this first week, especially like day 1, let's say you have $500,000 worth of tokens entering the vault. It's going to say, great, for the next year, every single day, we're going to have $500,000 worth of tokens entering the vault. While that would be absolutely amazing, and I truly hope that is the case, I imagine that it's going to level off a little bit more later on. And so as it gets to the point where you have a more steady, a more regular entrance and exit of the vault, at that point, it will reflect the new amount. And it's going to take that last 7 days again and project that out. So we don't have a way to guarantee an APY because the APY is constantly fluctuating. For instance, the Bankerdoge right now, like I said, it started at like 30,000, and we told everybody in the very beginning, it's going to look crazy and then it'll settle down. And now we're sitting at 357%. Ultracoin's sitting about 138, Metacoin's at 300. So I can't give you any guarantees on how it looks, but I can say based on how the other vaults are looking, it's probably somewhere between 100 and 300 I mean, Ultracoin's been going for about 6 months now, and it's been sitting at 100 to 150 pretty steadily for the past 4 or 5 months. Bankerdoge has been out for a month and a half, and it's been sitting somewhere between 150 and 300. So it'll kind of vary. And as you have marketing and more people come in, or a whole bunch of people decide to leave and then they realize what they're missing out on and come back, all those things are going to increase the APY.
Thank you. Very clear answer. Are there any more questions from the community? Hey, Tom. Tom's here. Oh.
Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. How's it going?
I already knew. Yeah, not too bad as well. We were just discussing the basic stuff of the vault, and I think you came in because I asked you a question, and Joe actually asked that question about will users have to unstake all earnable tokens in order to claim our rewards? Maybe you can put the suspense first.
Sure. So basically rewards are tied to tokens. So each token has a specific amount of rewards in your wallet. So when you connect your wallet to the website, it shows you a specific figure. Let's say it's $10. That's not $10 for the website, that's $10 for your tokens. Now, if you have those in the staking pool and the tokens are no longer in your wallet, you won't see those rewards anymore. But the way to resolve that is by unstaking, and then you can claim those rewards. Alternatively, you can wait until the end and the rewards will build up and they'll transfer across, but they're always tied to the tokens. Hence why if they're in the farm or they're in the staking or they're in a liquidity pool or anything like that, you won't see the rewards valid. You'll have to take it out and you have to have the tokens active in your wallet to claim them.
Tom, I do have a question on that. We have I'm not sure, do they have to claim directly from your website, and does it check it against the wallet address to see how many are there, or are they sent out? Assuming people meet the minimum threshold.
You claim against the wallet. Sorry, you don't have to claim on the website. You can also claim through BSC scan, but yes, you have to claim an amount and it checks the amount that you have available.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I think that's something that we can probably talk about. But given that the wallet address of the vault would be holding all those tokens, we can talk about and see if there's a way to make it so that the vault is able to claim on behalf of all the users and then send it out so that they're able to claim it directly from the vault as well. But that's something we can talk about separately.
Cool. Well, yeah, that sounds good. Well, the nice thing about it is that if that's not happening, then the nice thing is that at the end of the vault, or whenever they withdraw their tokens, they have a nice lump sum. So either way, it works quite well, and it can be quite a benefit either way.
Nice, Tom. Your voice is so rugged right now.
Yeah, I'm ill.
I know, but I'm kind of digging it. So, welcome, Tom. Sorry for the quick question interruption, but welcome in the AMA. It's going pretty well here. We've had a few questions. We've been able to answer them all. And right now we're looking for anyone who has another question.
Joey speaking. I have just another question regarding the Earnable Rewards again. Let's make an example. Let's assume I enter the vault rather early. I have my coins now 90 days in the vault. And another one is entering the vault rather late. He has his tokens about 10 days in the vault. So this would actually mean I have 90 days of rewards accumulated. The other one has 10 days of rewards accumulated. Who can guarantee that I get exactly my tokens back, which have 90 days of rewards attached to them, and not the tokens from another investor, which has only 10 days rewards?
Yeah, sure. So that's not specifically how it works. So the way it works is when you put your tokens in, it checks it. When I say it checks against tokens, it checks against how much it's a little bit complicated to explain, but the wallet amount that you've claimed per tokens is split and shared with the blockchain. So the idea is that if you claim today, it records how many tokens you've claimed, and then it puts it on the blockchain. And then when you send some tokens to, let's say, me, it transfers that amount of ownership over to me. So the way it would work is, let's say, for instance, you claimed 1 token. That would display on the blockchain, and then you put it into the vault. It would then say the vault has claimed 1 token, and then when you send this same amount of tokens back to your wallet, it's still only claimed 1 token. So that's not really a worry as such. It's based on the share of the total claimed split by wallet address and token volume. So it avoids that issue where wallets could effectively steal claiming amounts. It doesn't really work in that specific way where a token has rights over rewards. When I say tokens, the rewards are tied to tokens, not wallets. What I mean by that is the amount of tokens and the amount of tokens that you have in your wallet at any given time or have claimed is tied to your wallet. I mean, you can query it. You can query that on the contract and see how many the specific amount is, and sort of see what's gone on there. And it's the idea is there's a cumulative amount that's always running, and that allows us to have like an active count. And that the idea is that if you put them into a vault or put them in staking or put them, you know, in a farm or put them in a liquidity pool or anything of that nature, when you withdraw it, the amount that you've claimed is still fair when you withdraw it. So yeah, no, that's thought about, and that's in the contract as well. So that works exactly the same way it would do when you enter and exit a farm, or when you enter or exit a liquidity pool, or you sell or buy your tokens. It's exactly the same.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Yes, Canon here.
Who was I hearing?
Hi everyone, Canon here. How are you?
Hey, Kenan. Nice. How are you?
Good, good, good. I'll have one question with Paul because I need to answer it every day. So, Paul, the rewards that are given by the Bankerdoge staking are both in Earnable and BNB, right?
That's correct. For the earnable vaults, there will be rewards both in earnable and in BNB.
Yeah, so there would be options of claiming just the Earnable rewards, and there would be options of claiming just the BNB rewards. So when we claim the Earnable, I hear that you obviously could be giving the 5% exit tax on the Earnable rewards that we have earned in the staking pool, and that is obviously different from the reflections that we have. If we claim the BNB rewards that are there in the staking pool, so how does it go? Does it deduct the 5% from the BNB rewards also, or is just the gas fee?
Yes, it's the exit fee regardless of whichever you are unstaking or taking out. The way that it works is you have the full fee that applies to anything coming out. So it's the 7%, whether you're taking out just earnable, just BNB, or both. And the reason that it works that way is let's say for just a minute that each earnable token is equal to 1 BNB. So they're the exact same price. If you were to earn 1 earnable and 1 BNB, or actually let's do 100 earnable and 100 BNB, then you would have 200 total tokens. With the way that it's set up right now, if you were to withdraw all 100 earnable, it would take it would take the 7% of that. So you would have 93 tokens. And when you withdraw all the BNB, it would take 7% of that. So that would be 93 tokens as well. The way that works out is 14 tokens were taken out of 200. So even though you're taxed on both withdrawals, the total amount that you were taxed is still just the 7%. So regardless of how many tokens, how many different types of tokens are being withdrawn, it's still the same tax either way.
Right. So the taxing is 7%, not 5%, right?
Correct. Yes. 5.5% is going back into the rewards pool, and then there's a small fee that goes to the upkeep of the platform.
Okay. So, like example, I am the first one who puts that into the staking, maybe about for 90 days. So whosoever gets in after me and whosoever exits after me, that total token amount into 7% is what gets into the total rewards, and
Uh,
whatever share I hold out of that staking pool, the same share I get out of that total 7% rewards, right?
yeah, so 7% of each person, whenever you join, 7% of each person after you is
5.5 you
going.
say, because 1.5 goes to Bankerdoge operations, right?
Correct. Yeah, so they'll pay 7%, 5.5% will go into the rewards pool. And if you own, say, half of the rewards pool, the rewards pool is 200, you own 100, then you will get half of the amount coming in. And when they leave, you will get, assuming again that your share pool is still 50%, you would get 50% of the reward. So it's just a straight translation of whatever your percentage of the pool is the amount of each reward distribution that you get.
And the earnable that we earn, the split of 5.5%, that automatically compounds in the staking pool, right?
That's correct. Yeah, every time that you get more earnable, that is added into your staked amount, meaning that the next time the rewards are calculated, it's going to do it based off your new total. Now, I will say if everybody is in there and nobody enters or exits, you'll get your increase, and everybody else also increases by their amount, so your percentage doesn't change. But uh, in the real world, people are constantly entering and exiting, so it does end up going on there, and that early compounding ends up playing quite a big role in there. One of the questions
So,
that we get quite
yeah,
often
so
from
in the
people.
I've been staking into the Bankerdoge, all true coin, and on other coins also. So I see one feature there that maybe if I'm staking it at maybe about 90 days, and after 45 days I add up more tokens. So the staking automatically goes to the 90 days again, right?
The way that it works is you have to stake for at least as long as your current remaining time. So if you staked for 90, 45 days later, you decide you want to stake again, your remaining time is 45 days. You would
Yeah.
need to stake for at least 46, but you could do anywhere between 46 and 90.
Okay, okay. And Tom, I have a question for you. What would happen to the 1% reflections that we have when the tokens are in the staking pool?
Yeah, 1% reflections are disabled for that particular wallet. So the way we do that is actually, that's a good question. It's a question that we can sort of bug check here live with Paul. So Paul, when you withdraw from your the wallet, let's say for instance I add in, let's say for instance there's 90 tokens in the vault and I add 10 tokens. When I go to withdraw them, do I have rights to withdraw 10% or 10 tokens?
It keeps track of the total number of tokens that you have. So if you put in 10 tokens, 10 tokens, and then you decide you want to withdraw, it'll say you have 10 tokens available to withdraw.
It won't do 10%, yeah?
Correct. It does it based on the actual number, not on the percent.
Sure. Okay. In which case, then you will be foregoing your 1% reflections based on volatility, because effectively there's no way for us to reliably maintain that. That being said, that wallet will be turned off, so those 1% won't be going into the wallet and being lost. They'll effectively just being spread between everyone or every other token that's not in the vault. So unfortunately, it's one of those situations where we'd love to be able to reflect them to you, but it's a case where we can't reliably do that to the point where I can promise you it's going to arrive in your wallet. And for that case, I'm going to say, by being in the vault and gaining the benefits of the vault, you forego your 1%. That being said, Earnable has been running for a fair amount of time now, and I can sort of safely say that the 1% isn't huge. It's not like, Safe Moon or other massive reflection tokens where you get a huge amount of reflections that sort of generate a decent amount of return. Earnables is sort of just to top you up if you ever do need to. So that 1% isn't going to be a massive, isn't going to be something massive to forgive, and it should hopefully be more than made up for by the vault's benefits.
So, Tom, is there any option of holding the reflections for everyone, maybe till the maximum time the staking is available? So, if it's maybe about 90 days, So from today to next 90 days, we hold all the reflections so that if after 90 days everyone come back to their wallet, then we can distribute it basis their holding percentage.
Unfortunately, just the way that contracts work and the way smart contracts interact, we can't really interact with that sort of thing. You know, the way it works is we can exclude wallets and we can include wallets into the reflections. That being said, that's all we can do really. So we can't really influence it. So we can either give the vault tokens, which seems unhelpful because more than likely, I mean, you can correct me here, Paul, but I would suggest it's a smart contract and any tokens sent to that address are effectively lost. Alternatively, we can turn that off and they'll be reflected but amongst everyone who's not inside the vault. That being said, you transferring in and out of the vault should hopefully be untaxed, so you won't see those reflections from that. So it'll only be the buys and the sells that you'll be losing reflections from, and unfortunately we can't really capture them for you. If we could, that would be more of a sort of privacy worry from your guys' end, because we could in theory capture your rewards, which we can't do. So it's a good and a bad for you that we can't capture your reflections is once, but it also means that you're from a safety standpoint sort of locked in, and we can't capture anything for you.
I do have one quick correction on how the vault works for that. Any tokens that are sent directly to the vault contract address are considered an airdrop, and so they get sent out to all stakers proportionate to the amount of the staking pool that they own. They're not lost; they get distributed.
Oh, fantastic! In which case, you will get reflections. So, a little live update for you there from Paul. So reflections will be proportionally distributed amongst everyone, just as you normally do. So you shouldn't notice any difference.
Right. So you get the reflections from our normal 15% taxes also compounding on the staking, and the 2.75% reflections that the Bankerdoge would be giving would also be getting
Exactly that,
compounded on. Yeah.
Yeah. So you won't see it being tracked. It will just be just in the same way that when you
Just
log
the
onto your
total
MetaMask,
amount of that you would
it
see,
will
right? But
rise.
you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't bifurcate that. What's the 1% and what's the 2.75%?
Yeah. But it won't be tracked as such as when you watch. You know, when you look at your vault, you'll see an amount increasing more than likely. It won't be in the same way. It'll be when you withdraw, you'll get a small little bonus.
Right. Yeah, it should be pretty fine. Just people would be have these two questions: that what about my reflections and what about my BNB rewards? So yeah, pretty sorted. Thanks.
I am really excited for this vault to go live, really. Anyone else? I'm scrolling in the chat because I know there were some questions in the meantime. Let me see. Okay, so I see some basic questions like how is the 7% tax paid? But I think we kind of covered it because it's in a reward pool, right?
Yeah, exactly. When somebody enters the amount that they stake, say they wanted to stake 100 earnable, they would say, I want to stake 100, and it would go into the system. The 7 tokens would be deducted, and inside the vault, they would now have 93 tokens, assuming that they didn't have any lock bonuses or anything like that. So it's just the amount that you want to stake times 0.93 equals the amount that is going to be in the vault, assuming no other bonuses.
Perfect.
One more question, Paul. Just one more question. We also see the initial bonus that we get when we stake it for maybe about 60 days or 90 days. So, is this bonus also distributed from that 5.5% taxes, or how's it?
Not completely sure. Oh, the bonus that you get when you lock for however many days?
Yeah, so if I lock it maybe about for 90 days, so at the start of the locking, there would be some bonus tokens that I would be getting, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so those bonus tokens that I get is coming from the 5%, 5.5% rewards, or is it the bonus tokens are a separate reward that Bankerdoge sends?
That is a good question. I believe they come from the bonus that you have. So you would go down to, if you're again staking 100, you go down to 93, and then you get your 5.5% bonus. So it would be, oh, math is hard off the top of my head. Whatever 93 times 1.055%
So
is.
that's a 5.5% bonus, or how's it? I'm not sure what exact percentage. It depends upon the number of days that you stake, right?
Correct. Yeah, 90 days is 5.5%, but it is scaling. So 30 days is less, and 60 days is somewhere in the middle.
So that itself is a part coming from the 5.5% rewards that are being distributed.
Yes, I believe that's correct. It's coming from the your entry fee. You're getting the bonus back based off that, I believe.
Right.
May
Okay,
I just
thanks.
ask how the APRs are calculated specifically? Does it mean that Bankerdoge is paying out a specific amount, and depending on the total value locked of all the users, the APRs are then calculated against the rewards given by Bankerdoge?
Yes, this is something that we touched on briefly earlier, but it's a fairly common question we definitely want to address. The calculator that is up at the top is an estimate, and an important distinction is that it is the APY instead of the APR. And the difference is APR is just the amount that you get each day multiplied by 365. The APY is taking compounding into effect. And so, like we were talking about earlier, the amount, whenever you get rewards, by default, those are in your staking pool already, meaning the next time that you get rewards, it's based on that new amount, including the bonuses that you got. So the way that ends up working is, what are the numbers? There's something like 130% APR is equal to like 600% APY. So as you go further and further into the year, it makes a fairly big difference. But the way that it's calculated is it's going to take the past 7 days and look at the number of rewards distributed and what the percentage comes out to on that. And then it's going to say, okay, if the next 365 days are the exact same as these past 7 days, here is what that APY would be. And so it's going to constantly update, starting at day 8, when it now has 7 full days of information. It's going to constantly recalculate. So if you have a really, really, really big day in there, your APY is going to go up. But if you have 7 days of slower activity, where maybe the percentage that you're getting is not super high, it'll show low. And then the next day, if you have a really big one, that's going to bring up the APY. So it's going to fluctuate literally on a daily basis after the first 7 days. And it's just meant to give you kind of a projection of the next year if that year continued as if the past week had been.
So this means, it makes sense. This means the rewards are just taken from the 5.5% entry and exit fee, or is Bankerdoge paying something out, except for this locking bonus?
The majority of the rewards come from vault activity, so people entering and exiting from that 5.5% fee you were talking about. There are a couple of other sources. The main one is airdrops. So for instance, one of our other partners, Metacoin, has done several $100,000 worth of airdrops. Not every partner does that. It's not near as common, but any airdrops that come from Earnable, or any marketing partnerships that we create with Earnable, where maybe we drop either Earnable tokens or Bankerdoge tokens or something like that in, would also contribute. So there are a couple of other ways that it can get in, but by far the primary source of interest for you guys is going to be people coming in and leaving.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. We have to wrap up this AMA. I see Tom coming in for a really quick question. We are really short in time, so I hope we can make it a quick one. Tom, go ahead. Tom? No? No. Okay. So we're wrapping up here. Someone also asked if you could get your staking rewards in the form of Bankerdoge. I think we can touch in on really short. I think the answer is no, but I'm not completely sure.
Sorry, was the question if people can get Bankerdoge as a reward from the Earnable Vault?
Yeah.
And that vault does not currently exist. That is something that we could definitely discuss in the future. There's no reason it can't exist. But the vault that is being launched today will only reward in Earnable and in BNB.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Paul, for being here. Thank you all, the rest, for joining and asking your questions. We had plenty. We anticipated to it. We were really excited for this staking vault. I'm gonna be counting down. We're gonna be coming back here after AMA and Bankerdoge. We're gonna go there and answer also other questions. And we'll be back here expecting to launch the vault in about 15 minutes from here. So get your wallets ready. Thank you, Paul.
Awesome. Thank you. And look forward to seeing some of you guys in the Bankerdoge AMA in just a second.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, cheers.